I miss you guys. Okay, so welcome to week 3 of Distant Learning Science. So this week we are, before I move on, great job on your quizzes last week. I think the lowest grade was like an 80, and you guys are smart anyway, but very proud of you guys. So keep it up, how you're learning and everything. Kudos to your parents. Say thanks for helping me learn. And diving in deeper into the enrichment activities and everything. Right now, you guys are winning. That's right now. This Monday morning, you guys are winning Lab Wars. So keep it up, okay? Encourage each other to keep doing those enrichment activities, the experiment challenges and everything. You guys are doing great. So we're moving on into some new stuff. Some of you probably have heard this and maybe not. We are moving into inherited traits, learned behaviors. So they're actually pretty easy to pick up. We've kind of talked about a little bit what inherited means and learned means and everything, but we're going to break it down today, and your homework is related to it. So like it always is. But get your notes ready, because remember, you can use your notes on your quiz. So we're first going to start out with, what are traits? Very important. Vocabulary word. Look at this. I'm giving you like the answers. Traits. There's the word traits before I go on. They are personal. Personal means special to you, okay? So something that's for you. Personal characteristics. So characteristics, if you really break it down, you should know this from Miss Hamry too, from ELA English. Characteristics means describing you. Character, like how you are. So it's things that make you, you. So we're going to add that. Things about you. So we're going to learn a little bit about your past here and who you are. So it's going to be, I love learning these. This is one of my favorite things. It's how you look and in what you do. All right, so traits are like behaviors. There is your definition. Maybe back it up. There you go. Traits. Personal characteristics, things that are related to you, just you, special. Remember, God made us all unique. So we're going to break that down. Things about you, it's how you look and how you function, what you do. Probably thinking, oh yeah, Miss G, I got this down. I know everything about myself and everything. You're going to be really surprised in how we learn about this. Get another one. We're going to now make a T-chart. So you have that basic in your brain, what is a trait? Something special about you. What I want you to do on your T-chart is on one side, you're going to write inherited traits. And on the other side, you're going to write learned behaviors. Okay? Now, behaviors are traits, but behavior means something you do. Okay? And often you're going to see me write an I and an L on our our T-charts, because that makes it quick and easy to make your notes. So here are your next couple of vocabularies. We're going to add some bullet points. So for an inherited, it's given by mom and dad. Okay? So mom and dad, they are who you get your special looks from, and a lot of things you do that come naturally to you. Naturally means that you don't have to think about it. It's just like breathing. You didn't learn it. It's given, like it's instinctively inherited. It's in your brain that you know that you have to breathe in order to survive. Okay? Now here's the cool thing. Sometimes mom or dad might not have that trait you have. Like if you smile, you may have dimples. Those are those little holes kind of in your face. I don't have the dimples. Can you tell? Okay? So mom and dad might not have dimples, but guess what? Grandma or grandpa might. So that's an inherited trait. It's skipped a generation, but in mom and dad's, one of their sides, one of their genetic codes, their DNA, it was passed down to you and you got it. Another really unique one is roll your tongue. I can do it. Can you do it? It's really fun, cool. Okay? Go check with your mom and dad. Who can do it? Okay? For me, my mom can't roll her tongue. Like, it's craziness. She can't. But my dad can. So who did I inherit it from? My dad, right? But it's an inherited trait. So go try that with mom and dad and see. If they both can do it, you're lucky. It was like you were destined to do it. Maybe you can't do it, though. Maybe one of your parents can't. It's just crazy. Another one is like red hair. Sometimes the color, I have like, you can't tell because it's like highlights and everything, but red hair is a very unique inherited trait. It's very rare, actually. It's one of the most rare. But it's caused by a mutation in your genes. But it's passed down somehow through mom and dad. Mine comes from more my dad's side because he has Greek in his lineage. So, and Greek people have red hair. A little bit from my mom. She said, well, I kind of had red hair, but it's definitely from my dad's side because my grandma, his mom, had bright red hair. And all of you know, Jotham has red hair, so came from me, but also Mr. Greenwald has a little red on his side, so just never know. What else is inherited traits? We're going to say it's passed down by DNA. DNA is your genetic code. It's the keys, like what makes you you. So if you print it off, like made a list, that's your DNA right there. It's really cool. We'll learn more about it in 7th grade, so just know that you need to know what inherited traits are. But they're unique and they come from your parents. Now, you probably said the vocabulary word offspring. That's you guys. Offspring are the children of parents. So you have your parents and offspring. So usually offspring is referred to more to like chickens or something or like animals, but we're humans, we're animals. Some examples of inherited traits: eye color, dimples, height, hair color. Only writing a couple of these down. Your foot size, surprisingly. See, I have a size 8.5 foot. My mom has a 7. My dad, he's still short, but my aunt has a size 8. So in my genetic makeup, on my mom's side, they have bigger feet than what she does. So that was passed down to me. It's kind of weird how that happens. Diseases. Certain ones. So let me see. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. We still have research trying to go on for like autism and ADHD and everything. So not like that, but like sickle cell disease. That's something that's in your genetic makeup, or osteoporosis can be part of, if your mom or dad had it or sibling has it, it could be in your DNA. It just might not have been activated quite yet. So that's why the doctors really are careful whenever you have a baby yourself. They do genetic coding when they're about 10 weeks along, pregnant, to see if there's if they can catch any genetic makeup that might have been passed from mom or dad. It's amazing what we can do nowadays, and they can literally track your DNA to see now if you might have Alzheimer's in the future. What? I know. It's not something that you can go to your doctor and do right now. It's a little expensive, but eventually, I bet by the time you guys are grown up and older and have kids, that will be like, oh, sign me up kind of thing. You're going to know what your future holds. Kind of crazy, huh? Now let's move to learned behaviors. These are things or actions, probably better to put actions, you learn. Okay? Examples are your manners, how to say please and thank you, your language, so if you're English, Spanish, religion, you're not born with that, you were taught that, and your favorite things. So if you end up liking ice cream, you decide, I like ice cream. I've learned that ice cream is amazing, just like Mrs. Greenwald. I always love ice cream. And these are also known as acquired traits. So like I said earlier, behaviors are also another word for traits. Acquired means to get, and traits are characteristics of yourself. So it's something that becomes you. All right, actions you learn. Examples are manners, language, religion, favorite things, and they're also known as acquired traits. So that is actually one of your vocabulary words. Now here's a unique thing to think about. I have a lot of kiddos over the years as I've taught them. They said, well, speaking is a learned behavior. Now here's the difference. We as humans, as organisms, we inherited the knowledge that we need to communicate with our families. Babies, how do they communicate? Crying, right? So it's in their DNA to know that it was inherited that they just cry because they don't know how other ways to communicate with us. A learned behavior is when you actually learn your language, the words. So if baby Belle, who will come out one day in May, she's going to communicate with me by crying, in different levels of crying, different speeds of crying, and I'll pick up on how her mood is, what she might need by that way. So that is instinct, inherited. But as she gets older, she starts learning words. I start saying mama, dada, ball, whatever it is. I'm teaching her my language, English. So that becomes a learned behavior. Communication is inherited. How you communicate, what you communicate is a learned behavior. So it's very important to distinguish. Those things are very connected, but at the same time, what is it you're learning in order to be able to communicate? Eating. You know you have to eat in order to survive. Your body tells you, feed it, fuel it, but what you eat, how you eat is all learned. Do you go to the grocery store? Yes, that's learned. How you actually eat it is learned. Okay, so you have to really distinguish between the two. And that is our notes for the weeks between inherited traits and learned behaviors. Now, when it comes to homework, I have listed up, you will go onto resources, and there is, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think it says examples of inherited traits and learned behaviors. It's a Word document that you'll download. It has about 10 to 15 examples of inherited traits and learned behaviors. You are going to print that out, or you can write it. I don't have a printer, so you do whatever's best for you. You're going to make a T-chart, like I was talking earlier. Put I on one side and L on the other. You will cut out those examples, and you'll glue them onto either side. So you have to pay really close attention, like I just said. Talking, how you talk is learned. You know you have to communicate is inherited. So it's really tricky on some of them, but some of them are quite obvious. What do I want you to do? Okay? You're going to list the example. And with that example, I want you to explain why you put it under there. So one sentence. So if it's combing my hair, okay? What do you think? Combing my hair. Learned, okay? So you would write combing my hair, explain why. I learned how to use a brush. And some of you might not actually comb your hair, so that's you and whatnot. But it explains to me that I learned or I was taught. You want to use those words. If it says hair color, what do you think? Inherited, right? So you write hair color, explain why. I got my red hair from my grandma. Like that. I inherited. My red hair was passed down to me from my grandma. It's in my DNA. There's a lot of ways you can explain it. Make sure it's a complete sentence though. And your last thing is I want you to draw a picture to go with it. Some kind of symbol that represents it. So if it was combing my hair, you could just make a brush. That's fine. Or you could actually draw yourself combing your hair. For hair color, you could draw hair and then color it red. I mean, very simple and easy, guys. So you list your example, explain why in one sentence, and then draw your picture. Okay? If you have any questions or you're confused, please email me or let me know, and I will do the best I can in communicating back with you and listing that. So that's your homework for the week. Miss G, what's my experiment? This is what I want you to do. I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to find a video. There's tons of them out there that has a whole list of different learned behaviors and inherited traits. Like you can just type in inherited traits and learned behaviors, and it will pop up all these videos, kid videos, that will show you different examples. And some of them are even games that you can play, like which one's which and everything. So I want you to go on YouTube and figure it out. I'll try to remember to upload one as an example, but it's just a fun way to really get your brain going and trying to figure out the differences between them. Some of them are really tricky, but some of them are quite obvious. Okay, so that's it. Let's see. Let's review. 1, take your notes from this video. 2, do your experiment. Try to find a YouTube video where you can get some more examples of these things we've been learning. Homework, characteristics of organisms. So you're sorting those examples and remember those 3 extra things that you need to add. And vocabulary words. Okay, so those are all loaded up. Not very many this week, which is great. Just remember, guys, that you need to be coloring your pictures and adding those sentences. Those little things add up to lower grades. So we've been doing this since the beginning of school. You can do it. And there's brand new enrichment activities, some fun ones up there. Remember, if you complete one, you get 25 points or 50 points for your lab group. You're 5th grade, and that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you guys soon. Blessings. Bye.